Show us you're the man, Koai. Come on, chicken, just do it. Miju. Yeah, I believe your real name is Misaki the Beast Kono. Don't let me down. So this is what's written on the note, I take it. You're going to get rich, kiddo. Mom. Thanks, Mom. Take good care of my daughter. Should you disappoint me, I will make your life a living hell using all the power to what it has. Just some friendly advice. My daughter is particularly sensitive around the neck and ears, and the list goes on and on to the back of the paper. Why? Do moms act like that in real life? What do they want us to do? Yuki seemed clueless. There was a fizzling noise coming from the portable gas range. It was running out of gas. I turned it down. It's getting pretty cold. I wasn't listening to Yuki. At that moment, I wanted to clasp my head in both hands and scream. I had no way out. I glanced at Yuki, who was warming her hands in the leftover heat from the gas range. Her every movement caught my eye, and I realized she was hypersensitive to whatever she did. And I realized I was being hypersensitive to whatever she did. It was just me and her alone. With everybody gone, it was hard to create a barricade between us. I silently drained my cup, but no matter how fast I drank, it wouldn't warm me from the cold. Wait, cold? I looked up. At the same time. Something's wrong. Bang. The cling film we used to mend the holes of the doors was blown away, and the large snowflakes rolled into the room. Is that goddess person back? The doors rattled violently, and we could hear the wind shrieking to get inside. It's a blizzard! The cold air easily sucked all the warmth we had. Fun. I mashed the A button. Can I go back? Alright, good. Yeah, I accidentally kept my finger down on the A button, and that was scary. I stood up with a roll of cling film and sellotape in my hand. I tried to fix the holes, but I couldn't even press the cling film down with the harsh wind pushing its way in. I peered outside. There was only darkness. Oh, this is, it's not by paragraph, it's by, like, line. We're trapped in here, I said out loud. Alright, so I think I can proceed now? B, proceed. Oh, Y is return. B is, like, scroll. Alright. We were in a dangerous situation. It was surreal. But if I didn't get a hold of myself, we would surely freeze to death. Come on, think. Do we try to escape or we wait for a rescue? Now, we still have strength. We could brave it and try descending the mountain. It's freezing. I turned my back to see Yuki clutching herself, shivering. She had always been tougher than most when it came to cold, so she had only brought a simple throw-on as usual. Let's wait for rescue. It looked like the better choice. I tried taping the cling film onto the doors again, but it failed. But even if the cling film could be pressed against the door, the tape wouldn't stick from the cold. Can you, like, wrap yourself up in it? Like a mummy or something? Misaki, I'm cold! I wrapped the leftover— oh, there you go, then. I wrapped the leftover cling film around her. I've heard this will help with insulation. Then you should have some on too. There isn't enough. Place the empty roll on the floor. It would probably have been more effective if it were wrapped directly onto her skin, but considering the body heat that would have been lost taking off her clothes, the best I could do was wrap it around the top of her kimono. Is that better? I think so. Even if it wasn't much, it was better than nothing. I sat down next to Yuki and lifted the mat from the floor in an attempt to make a makeshift blanket. The mat was too stiff to serve as a blanket, but at least it created a sort of barrier against the wind. Strangely, the area around the altar felt warmer than the other parts of the room. Isn't there like a wool pelt on the ceiling you could, quote-unquote, borrow? No? Perhaps it's divine protection? That can't be too reliable then. Yuki smiled faintly. It's so cold. Yuki spoke less and less as time passed. Perhaps she was trying to conserve her energy. Perhaps she was already too weak. Or maybe both. I was no better. Don't fall asleep. I slapped her awake. Her cheek was as cold, antonyms, as my palm. But I'm sleepy. I'll try warm you as best I can. I'll try warm you? Okay. No, like, two there. Come on. Controls. Why are you being weird? I like how I'm only figuring this out now, that you could, like, view the log of the text with the buttons. Anyway, I looked around for something to burn. I wanted to tear the wooden floors up and set them on fire, but that was impossible. The chance of us surviving and our options were decreasing with the minute. Damn it. My mind was getting cloudy. I was beginning to get sleepy too, just the way Yuki was. Don't sleep. I shook her. It took a while for her to open her eyes. But I'm so sleepy. Talk, say something, anything to keep yourself awake. I needed something fast that could give us warmth, even for just a little while. What are you looking for? When she spoke, it was reassuring because it meant she was alive. Paper. What for? To burn. A short, clipped conversation was better than nothing at all. Paper? Of course. Yuki? There's paper. She reached out and pulled something forward. Sine gave me this. It was the shopping bag from the bookstore. I had completely forgotten about it. It seemed so long ago that Kawai was teasing us about it. She might not be happy with us, but let's burn it. Pass it to me. I took off the cellophane tape in the bag and pulled out the books inside. Misaki? This. What's the matter? This. I don't know where I got the strength, but I managed to throw the pornographic magazine on the ground in exasperation. Whose idea was it? Oh, that's what she got her. Alright, so that's about what I was expecting. Mashiro? It had to be Mashiro. What's the matter? It's paper. I know it's paper. What kind of book was it? Oh. The magazine was open on the ground. It's a different kind of fuel. Hey. Huh? Yuki picked up the magazine and was beginning to flip through the pages. This is not a good time. This! She was slapping the magazine with her hand in disbelief. I didn't have any words to say. I shut up and waited for the outburst to come. Whatever this is, it's dirty! She glared at me. Do you mean to say men enjoy looking at things like that? Despicable. If you say that you're condemning all men as perverts, it's natural. It comes to our instincts to want to reproduce. Not yours, clearly. What did you say? Huh? I suddenly realized what I had said. This was bad. This is it? She came closer. Too close, I could smell her scent. Yeah? I nodded, disarmed. I see. She nodded. I see. She started peeling off the cling film around her kimono. Yuki, what are you doing? This. She waved the magazine under my nose. We're about to freeze to death. This isn't the time. See? He agrees. What if I do exactly what these women are doing in this book? I get a baby, don't I? Will you be more considerate about the time and the place? There's a blizzard outside, so no one will disturb us. This is the right time and place. Am I gonna have to censor things on the video before I post it on YouTube? I had better not. I'm the type that needs the fuel to do this. The feels? What are you talking about? We're doing this now, whether you like it or not. Can we please try this in a better situation? Please? It will become a better situation, I think. You don't sound too sure of it yourself. Come on, stop complaining and get on with it. She placed my hand on the knot of her obi belt. If you pull this, everything will come loose. That's nice. Despite my protesting, I couldn't pull my hand back. It's so cold, Misaki. She pushed me down on the floor. I lay back, watching her long hair cascade around me like a curtain. I could only see her now. Warm me up. I felt caged, trapped. I couldn't run away. Tired. I couldn't get away from her. Oh, tied, not tired, although I think he said he was tired earlier too. If I just gave her a tug, I could have her naked in my arms. It felt unreal, and I was about to yield. Just me and Yuki. I began to understand the reason I was with her in the first place. Misaki, warm me up. She reached out for me. I tightened my hold on her. Her forehead dropped to my chest, and then... Yuki? Silence. I sat up and cradled her in my arms. She wouldn't move? She couldn't move. Why? She whispered in a weak voice. I can't move. She didn't have the energy to support herself any longer. See? Not the right time and place, God. You're right here, by my side, and I can't move. Yeah, Yuki, I'm right here. I talked to her, I babbled, saying anything. And if she fell asleep now, I was sure she would never wake up again. I'll get us out of here, I said. Misaki! She looked at me with half-lidded eyes. She must have realized what I was trying to do. No! She pleaded, pressing her cheek against me. But I turned around. The wolf skin that hung on the altar shimmered gently. Ah! So they did, like, figure it out. Shiro-sama, please come out. I need your help. Oh, this is like a summoning thing. So you can summon people through this. You rang? The wolfskin glowed, and its light took the form of a small girl. And here I was, determined to keep my promise with Kouai. He bribed me not to come out and play with 5 big tubs of ice cream, you know. Yeah, we heard. She looked down at us shivering on the floor with a smirk. It was easy for her to jump from Yashiro to Yashiro. It was no doubt easy for her to travel here instantly, since this was her shrine after all. And here again, I found 2 humans in my house, using my house as a lover's rendezvous. Show some respect. I don't intend for anything to happen. All men say that. I didn't want an argument. What happened to the others? They made it down safely. They rounded up everybody to make a way up to the mountain too. They'll be here by dawn. By dawn? Yep. Shiro didn't say anything further. She was trying to make me think for myself what that implied. Yuko won't make it till dawn. Yuki won't make it till dawn. Yep, she repeated amusedly. Hey! Yuki stirred, moved out of my arms. She pulled out her naginata and stood up, using it as a support. Why did you come? I didn't just come, I was called. Leave. You're pointing a blade towards a god, trying to make her leave her own home. It was obvious Yuki didn't appreciate Shiro's humor. I could almost hear her grinding her teeth. Shiro. There was a flash of movement, too fast for her eyes. A blur whipped across Yuki, then returned to Shiro's side. My. Yuki looked down at her bare hands. Sorry about that, miss. Shiro spoke, his head turned toward us. He had Yuki's naginata between his teeth. God's orders. He broke the weapon in half with a bite. No! Yuki sank to the ground as if that had taken the last of her soul. We have no time. That's right. Please help us. Sure. Shiro was fast to answer. But not for free. You have to do as I require. Which is, cut your ties. I knew exactly what she meant. Remove her from your life. You be mine entirely, and you both live. That's the deal. Misaki! Yuki cried out in a small voice. I gave the god my answer. Alright. Misaki! I knew you would agree to it. But I'll die someday too, you should be aware of that. I can be content with just a few decades. I just need you to cater to my needs for a while. She stood before me. What do you want? To be loved. The goddess before me had repeatedly took solace from something that would never last. It was how she preserved herself from wearing away through eternity. It was the reason she kept in contact with people. She connected to them, she loved them, stayed with them till they departed, and then did it all over again. I was probably just one out of many in her time. But even so, alright, I took your hand. You'll choose me then? Her hand was small and cold. If I don't, we'll both die. That's the only reason. If you don't like that, you could change me however you want. I do have all the time in the world to do that, she laughed. I could even make you a god too, live forever the way I do. If you want. Really? She blinked, as if that was unexpected. Every man I'd ever been with had always refused to become one. That's not what I would have predicted, I have to say. Then I'll be the first. Aren't you afraid of immortality? It's unreal to me. I liked unreal. You'll have to prove you'll keep your promise. She looked away. Shiro-sama? Shiro. What? Call me Shiro. Shiro. Ugh. She shuddered and made a face. I need to get used to that. She walked towards me. You don't have to do anything. You just leave everything to me. I held my breath. If you preferred kimonos, I wouldn't mind wearing one. She remembered my particular tastes. She pressed her weight against me. I could feel the warmth of her body. Misaki, love me. You'll have to save Yuki first. Be more romantic, won't you? Sounds like another good video title, to be honest. A promise is a promise. And? No. She cut me off before I could say anything. You'll take me in front of this girl and she will watch. She must know you're mine. Ugh. I could hear Yuki gasp. That's the rule of the Golden Bow. The one who conquers all must be killed before his power is lost. The one who kills him gains his power. It makes it known that he is the one with the power now. Moments before, Yuki had ruled over me, and now Shiro was trying to make a point that she was taking over. That's how gods are. We kill, we take, we provide. If you want harvest, you must remember you reap what you sow. And you think I will agree to that? It's for your own good too, Misaki. Don't deny you weren't tempted by that girl. I'll have you know it was only a moment of weakness. I kept silent. I didn't agree or disagree with anything she said. Her strength, her power was absolute, and I just bowed down to it. Anyway, Shiro's golden eyes flashed. Warmth suddenly spread through the room. Once you're warm enough to recover, you'll be able to make your way safely down. She had created a safe zone from the blizzard. I need you warm too, Misaki, for another reason. You probably can't work that thing with goosebumps all over. Do you have to be so graphic? You better get used to it. I'll be asking for you whenever I want to from now, and you'll be asking for me too. For what? Never mind. I will do no such thing, probably, maybe, perhaps. Now I must take you and destroy every bit of hope the girl has of having you for herself. Shiro's eyes glittered, and she looked down at Yuki in triumph. She reached out for me. I reached back, my hand went to her cheek and pulled her forward. I could see every bit of color drain from Yuki's, face? Face? Text log? Thank you? Oh, I could see every bit of color drain from Yuki's pale face. Yeah, I got that right. What am I doing now? I didn't have an answer to that. I didn't know what I was doing at all. I didn't feel as if I was living in my world. I felt detached. Reality was fading away. It's alright. It's alright. She let out a breath. She closed her eyes. And I... Misaki! Neither Shiro nor I could ignore that voice. We looked back. Yuki Towada was on her feet. Uh-oh. The god and the girl. So, I sense a battle on the horizon. And with that, I'm going to end it off here. So, my name is Dragonite. I hope you all enjoyed that. And we shall continue this all later.